Hey everyone, welcome back to the DJ Sessions presents the virtual sessions. I'm your host Darren, and right now I'm sitting in the virtual studios in Seattle, Washington, coming in all the way from Holland, from Lelystad, Holland. Did I get that right, Artento?
You get it right.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. We have Artento Divini. And wow, thank you so much for coming on the show today. It looks like you're in the studio there doing some work. At least you were doing some work before the show.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, this is my new home do-it-yourself studio.
Yeah. I mean,
magic happen.
It looks nice. Come back, it looks like you got a green screen in there for some live streaming. We'll talk a little bit about that in a moment, but I'd like to dive right in and talk about one of your latest tracks that you just released, Devos.
Yeah. It's a new track that will coming up with Davey Espray. I got a project with him. We call the project ADDA, and it's a really funny story. Let me start at the beginning.
Yeah.
In 2006, I started producing with my buddy Melvin Warning. We had Divini and Warning, and our mentor / teacher was Randy Katana. Back in the days, a big hero. And we wrote a hit. Our first track was a hit. Unbelievable! It was a hit. It was a dance smash on Radio 538. It's one of the biggest radio stations here in Holland. And if you got a dance smash, you will get played every 2 hours. It was the first non-vocal dance smash ever. Now, well, that was a tech tribal kind of sound. So we're using a lot of tribal loops, tribal percussion, And yeah, I quit with Melvin Warning. And all of a sudden, I met Davey Espray on ADA in Amsterdam in October. A few years ago, that was 2018. And he told me he was a huge fan about Divini and Warning stuff. And he was asking me, can you make those beats again? So, yeah, well, I did it so much. I'm done with it. But he still was not kind of begging, but he was asking me over and over again. I said, well, send over a melody, and I will check it. And then we start ADDA. That was the first track we made. That means Artento, Divini, and Davey Espray. And Armin van Buuren played it almost on every festival in 2019, include a sit-down with the whole crowd in Tomorrowland. You have to check it on YouTube. And then we were invited by Armin in the studio, and he told us, now you're going to drop an album. So, well, we are working on a follow-up. So we worked on a follow-up, the same kind of sound that I used to produce, like DAAD. So Davey Espray versus Artento Divini. Mm-hmm. He's going to be dead in 2020. Is it 2020? Yeah, 2020. And I became also dead in 2020. And what was the first word that a little kid will say? Dada. So the third one is Dada. And now we brought the idea to bring up ADDA as a project on stage. So that's why we got now Artento Divini versus Davey Espray presents ADDA. Yeah, and why we call it Divas? Because somebody said Divas for Divini and Davey Espray. And yeah, we call it Divas just as a joke. And that will be the last tune, and it's already featured on the State of Trance 2022, this year. So there will be a track that will coming up, and it was a very interesting one, because if we're gonna play it in my sets, people go off.
Well, it was very interesting because as I was doing my research on you, and I started seeing ADDA, and then I started seeing DADA, and then I started going to your Instagram, and I'm like, I'm kind of seeing a pattern here, but giving us the background of how, ADDA and then obviously data came into play, I went, is there going to be a theme moving on here? I didn't know the backstory on the co-producer of the album also having a child at the same time. And so that's very awesome that how things can come together when you're collaborating in music and putting things together, and it means even that much more to the both of you.
Collaboration is also very inspiring. The thing is, I have to be honest with you, I'm not a good melody man.
a good melody guy?
No. I don't want to say I hate melodies, but it's not my best part of the track, you know? And for Davey, yeah, melodies are all over in him. So yeah, I'm a complete. Yeah, I'm a beat freak. How to tweak the loops, how to tweak the percussion, how to tweak this, to mix the stuff, to mastering stuff. That's what I really like. So if somebody drop me a melody that is good, the only thing I have to do is focus myself on beats and on the mastering. Yeah, and that is a good combination with Davey right now, and it works very, very well.
And you know, what gives you the inspiration? What really is your driving factor to make music?
I don't know. I literally don't know. I think it looks like how do you say it? I'm addicted to create beats. I don't know if it makes you moving on. Yeah. Since I'm be dead, I don't have the time anymore that I had used before. Normally I was sitting down for 4 or 5 days in the studio, also ghost producing, doing a lot of mastering stuff. But right now you become that. Corona kicks in. I lost a lot of my employees. Yeah, and right now I try to come back. But yeah, I don't know. It's if you sit down a day in a studio of at least 3 hours, you know, yeah, it feels good. You know, you got out of out of the normal world. You sit down. I almost have a dark studio. Yeah, now I put the lights on, but normally it's dark. Yeah, it's just I get into it. I don't know. It's just a feeling, I guess.
I know what you mean when, you know, we started doing online interviews, and I wasn't going outside that much because a lot of our interviews were in-person interviews. Yeah. And then we started this concept called the virtual sessions, where we were doing a lot of our interviews and getting guest mixes from DJs coming in. And I'm in my studio. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot of time compared to some producers, but, you know, I'll start at 8 o'clock in the morning and I won't stop till 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I'm in front of my computer doing work for 12 hours. I have to get up and get out and go walk around or do something, or just tune out for a couple hours to dive back in. Otherwise I just would burn myself out. You know, so when you're working on tracks, what do you do to stay fit? What do you do to stay in shape?
Well, when we sold our house in Utrecht during Corona period, I saw in 2 weeks, my whole income went down when Corona kicks in. I know exactly 2 weeks after a state of trance in February, Corona kicks in. And because we got a little kid, we had already plans to move to Lelystad, closer to the family of my girlfriend, but in 2 years. But when Corona kicks in, I said to my girl, I said, listen, sweetheart, I think we have to move right now. So we sold our house for a very good price. We bought a new house. I built up a new studio. And my girlfriend, we got a garage, and she said, it's good, but I want to have a gym, shirts of CrossFit kind of stuff. So I built a CrossFit stuff into my garage, and that's the way how I stay fit.
Wasn't that one of the shows you started actually doing a couple years ago? Was that out of your CrossFit gym?
No. That was in Utrecht. There was also during the period. Yeah, during Corona, there was Kick This. There was a kickbox trainer.
Okay.
And he was also got a plans. He told me, Artento, you're doing live streams with the radio show. How is it going to work? So, we can record some videos. So what we did, we dive into the gym, only the two of us, lock down everything. The curtains? Curtains is this, huh? Closed, so nobody can see us. GoPro and do some exercise and put it on YouTube. So the members of that club of Kick This will stay fit at home. So we put some workout videos for 30, 45 minutes online. And that was just a bit fun.
Now, was live streaming something, or making videos online, something that you were regularly doing before 2020? Was that part of your regular thing? Because I know that you have your show on Stage Radio.
Yeah.
Was that primarily just an audio show before, or do you now incorporate the video with it as well?
Yeah, there was primarily an audio show, and it was, I can say it was big on Facebook. But you know, Facebook, the algorithms, music, royalties, copyrights, a lot of artists had a problem with it.
Yeah.
And people told me, go on Twitch. Yeah, but Twitch, what is Twitch? I don't feel it with Twitch. So I moved to YouTube. YouTube, the show was not that big anymore. But yeah, it was also one of the reasons when we moved to my new house, and I dived a bit more into Twitch because I didn't have a studio for almost a year, so I had enough time to dive into Twitch. What is going on here? And I said, okay, if I got a new studio, I want to have a green screen. I want to have those Pioneer 2000 Nexus CD players. And I still got my Datek Ecstasy mixer of 20 years old. It's a very good one. And I started doing live streams. And now it starts growing. My Twitch channel is not that big because when Corona kicks in, every artist moved straight up to Twitch. And I didn't have a studio because I sold my house and I had bought a new house and have to build up everything again. So, as you said, I'm also dead, so you know exactly how much time a little kid will take. So it was a lot of things to handle, but yeah, slowly we are getting there. And right now I do it every Monday, and yeah, it's still growing. It's still growing. I've got a very close group of listeners. They call themselves the Onstage family.
Nice.
They're buying T-shirts, they buying bracelets, they donate, they spread the word, and yeah, we are slowly growing, and yeah, that's really fun to see.
You know, that was the most interesting thing to see is we were doing our live streaming show for about 10 years before, and I was podcasting since 2005, so about 15 years before that, and we were just getting ready to go back to the front page of Twitch. We were talking with the new music dev team there. We're getting all ready to do this huge kickoff for 2020, and then everybody in the world jumps online. And what I liked about that was, I mean, I didn't like that what happened, but what happened was I used to have conversations and I'd tell people, oh, we're a live streaming featured partner DJ show with Twitch. And they'd say, well, what's Twitch? And I have to explain, okay, well, you know, YouTube is this thing owned by Google and Twitch is this thing kind of run by Amazon. And they go, oh, and then they'd say, well, who would want to watch a live stream of a DJ on their computer or listen to it? And I'm like, did you ever hear about this thing called radio back in the day? That's how you listen to music. You know, it's not like I want somebody just staring at my screen going like this, watching a DJ set. I mean, oh, look, he did the crossfader.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, he turned that knob. You know, nobody does that. You know, you put it on, you listen to it in the background. I think one of the best shows that I saw, I mean, there were so many that came out, but it was this crazy one that I don't know if you maybe saw this or not, but Macioplex did it. And they put him in like this green screen cube that was spinning around while there was cameras like flying above, and they had different
3D shit.
What?
The 3D stuff.
Yeah, it was very interesting on how it came in and was playing. People got really creative in the first year, but it really helped the industry come to the forefront. I don't think a lot of DJs or a lot of producers would have looked at live streaming as a medium to share, because, you know, it just, oh, I got to set up this, I got to set up this, I got to do this. Now everyone's ready for a Zoom interview. Everyone has something they're streaming in the studio, or, you know, if they want to take some time off and say, hey, you know what, on Mondays, like Artento does, I'm going live, and I've got my on-stage family, you know, my family that's helping out. And that's, I think it's going to open the doors for a lot more things. And instead of just the big festivals streaming live and setting up and making money, that artists are going to understand how to set up pay-per-view, Patreon, subscriptions, things of that nature, and make residual levels of income off of what they're doing. But the one big thing, and we could go on a whole new topic about this and talk about it for weeks and weeks on end, is the copyright and the licensing of this content, of what happens. And yeah, a lot of phone calls were coming my way early 2020, like, how do you do it? I'm like, get your licensing. That's it. You can't there's no way around this. You know, that's another whole road we can go down. So congratulations on starting and keeping the Twitch channel going live, and a shout out to your onstage fans.
It's very interesting. Twitch, it's very interesting, and I really hope, but that's what I've seen right now, that when Corona kicks in, nobody has any gigs anywhere, so people jump straight on Twitch every day, streaming, and they build a huge community. And now they are traveling again, and they are gone. We have to stay on Twitch just at least once a day.
That was the one thing that I was saying early 2020. We took a step back from live streaming, and I don't think we actually started streaming again until late 2020 because everyone was playing what I call the look at me game. Everywhere, every social media, everywhere out there. Look at me, I'm streaming. Look at me, I'm streaming. And this is coming down from the top DJs and producers in the world to people that maybe were just thinking about doing it or had bought gear, the bedroom DJs. It was just so much. And I'm like, how do you sift through the noise? How do you get through the noise? And let's say you want to stream live at 8 o'clock Pacific time. Well, you're going up against Gabriel and Dresden. You know, you're going up against these major players and you're shoved down here. And the way the Twitch algorithms wouldn't give you prominence, and then everyone's saying, look at me on the socials, and they hadn't built up their marketing, their following, their branding, or anything of that nature. So I was predicting that when we saw this 60 to 80% increase in online content, we also saw 60 to 80% of online consumption of people watching online content. And when things open back up, we were going to see a steady decline. Yeah, because they're going to be out on the road. They're going to be out on tour. You know, or their contracts may say you can't do a radio show or you can't do something like this because you're on tour. And the big money people don't want people doing shows online at home because they're afraid it'll impact ticket sales.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. But look at me, I can still do my radio show. And I still do it. But the funniest thing is, when I jumped on Twitch, I did for Trans Family San Francisco a stream. I did for Malaysia. I did a stream. So it's also a good way to spread your music and to see you as a DJ. I see also people following me, Artento. Who the fuck is Artento? And they see it and they say, hey, that's a funny guy. And I just easily to get in contact with. And I got also a mic and I'm gonna talk. And if people are in the chat, then I will say hi. And it's a very interesting platform.
You just brought up one of the key things, and I know we're going a little bit down the Twitch route, which will lead into something else I want to talk about. We'll get back to the music in a second. Yeah. But I think one of the key things that you'll find, and I've told this to people for years, is engaging your followers, letting them know they're there, saying hi. If you can in the chat room, or if you can't do it via microphone, try it in the chat room. If you can't do it in the chat room, get a moderator. Find one of your biggest fans. Say, would you like to moderate this while I go live? And let them know. And then they can also have that interaction back and forth. Because if you just have a chat room and people are chatting, that's great. Mm-hmm. And they might start interacting with each other, which is even better. But if you can give that interaction or that shout out back, and Twitch has a lot of great tools. I've been live streaming for almost 13 years now. And with all the platforms that have come out over the years, Twitch by far has designed it to have that engagement built in. And if you think about it, they designed it because it's primarily a video game streaming platform.
I know.
You know, I had to explain it to a DJ, a friend of mine the other day, that he came to me and said, well, we as the DJs, we saved Twitch. Everyone was watching Twitch now because the DJ, they go, and I had to go on. I said, look, right now we're streaming live, and yeah, we're number 5 in the world in the music section, but that music section only has 25,000 people total watching. Let's go look at League of Legends right now. There's 250,000 people watching. Okay, the DJ did not save Twitch. I mean, it was just a harsh reality that I had to explain to somebody. Yeah. But you know, it's just what it is, and hopefully, again, Twitch can work out what's going on with everything with the EU and what's come down the pipeline there. And we won't go into those discussions because I'm very vocal and very open about, like, telling people stuff's coming down the pipeline and you better be prepared for it. But
I hope they don't be that. I don't know if I can say the word that assholes like Facebook.
It's unfortunate. I'll tell you I'll sum this up really quickly. It has nothing to do with the companies. It has everything to do with the EU and what they came in with DMCA and getting rid of the safe harbor protection. Yeah. And if that follows in the US, it will trickle around the world, and that safe harbor goes away. Everyone's going to have to go to what's called active monitoring. That's why you see Facebook, when it's playing a song, it says, you're playing copyright music, shut this down or we're shutting it down for you. Yeah. YouTube does the same thing. Twitch is already looking into the technology. And it's like,
well, actually, it's doing it already. It's doing it already. I can stream it live, and the next day I download my video, and I see the purple lines, stuff that is already muted.
Yes, that is the VOD monitoring side of things, not the live streaming monitoring. And because the only company out there, and I'll give them a plug, we're a featured partner with them, that you're going to be able to probably safely do this with in the future is Mixcloud, because Mixcloud does not store any video on their site. So you don't have to worry about master user sync licensing with Mixcloud. And they have the rights for all the audio on their site, which it will put just the audio file on Mixcloud, but it won't put a video file on Mixcloud.
Yeah.
And because Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook all play with video, the moment that video goes online, they're going to be held liable in the EU and can be sued for damages for any amount of 1 second of a song, 2 seconds of a song being up there. They can be sued for that. Yeah, that's a whole nother pipeline. Let's talk about good stuff.
I see. That is really fun. I see you streaming also on my Twitch right now.
Yeah.
I see it on my way. Oh no way! This is Turbo Granny. Turbo Granny, Boss Beth. She is always tuning in on Monday evening from the UK.
Well, we got to give a shout out to Boss Bev. How you doing, Boss Bev? She jumped in the chat room and said, "No way! Oh my God!"
Yeah. We call it Turbo Granny.
You have to apologize. I still live on one of the craziest street corners of downtown Seattle. That
I look like I watch a movie.
Actually, if you go to a I have a website called thirdandcrime.org, but that's a whole nother story. We won't talk about. We'll talk about that off camera. But I want to give a shout out to Boss Bev. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. Yeah. Let's jump back into the music. The song before that you produced, before Devios, that came out, Over and Out.
Yeah.
Featured on A State of Trance, episode 1059.
Yeah.
It sounds like you have a very close working relationship with ASOT. Can you tell us a little bit about that relationship, how that came to fruition, how that came about?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, I know, actually. I know, actually. Back in the days, when we started producing, I released, a lot of stuff all around, all the kind of labels. Then I went back into the studio because the EDM market popped up, and I was very interested in how about those guys are producing. And I lost my mind into music. I went to the EDM market, I went to the house market, to the Latin market, everything. And one of my best friends passed away in 2016, and he was completely addicted to my old sound. And then I started, it's okay, let's make one trance track. Then I started in 2016 Hypercube, and I was not sure about it. I said, I don't know. So I sent it to Armin. Within 2 hours, he said, "Whoa, this is massive." Okay. So I just had a feeling for myself. I will stop with Artento Divini. I go a whole new alias, and then we'll go down. I'll go to the more EDM stuff, more to the house stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. So I got a new project because I didn't feel comfortable anymore with the trance music. Sorry, guys. But what I said, my best friend passed away, and I dropped a trance track, and Armin signed it straight up. I said, okay, probably I should go back to the trance. What I have learned during that time of 3 years that I quit with trance music producing, and I was focusing more on ghost producing and on EDM stuff and mastering stuff, I said, okay, let's make a sort of kind of track. We call it Octa. I want to create a sort of loudness. We had back in the days those loudness words. Maybe you can remember that. Mm-hmm. So I dropped the second one. 3 hours later, Armin sent me an email. Whoa, this is massive, but can you make it less loud? I said, okay, thank you. This is a big compliment. So then was Octa. And the third one I dropped was Tetra. And he signed it also straight up. I said, okay, I go back to the trance music. And that's how I started again to get in contact with Armin. And he told me in the show as well, you was a couple of years off of my radar. So I was telling you what I'm doing, and I didn't. And he said, well, you have after the show, after A State of Trance, he told me when we sit down to drink coffee, you should come back, man. You should come back, and you have to focus on your old sound again, but now in the way how you produce it. Mm-hmm. So I started again. Yeah, and I dropped Overall Faced and some other tracks. but the release schedule of Armada is long. You know what I'm saying? If you're not 100% artist of Armada and you drop a track, you have to wait when they've got some time for you in the schedule. Mm-hmm. That time I met Marcus Schultz, and he said, "Yeah, I can. I really like your stuff, and I play everything. Can you sign some stuff with me?" I said, "Yeah, that's fine by me." So I sent some stuff, and I sent some stuff to him. It's signed. It was very quickly released. Yeah, and then I met Dave Yesbury, and then we went down to 138 BPM, the tech tribal trance sound, and yeah, everything goes straight up to Armada right now. And 138 is not something for Cold Harbor. Cold Harbor is more like, I call it a little bit of fist pumping, you know? 132 BPMs, like fist pumping, that's what we want. Yeah, and what I've seen, if you play 138, you're gonna a lot of people like 138 BPM. Mm-hmm. So I moved slightly now to 138 BPM. And over and out is just in between a little bit, 136 is that. So you can pitch it a bit down, you can pitch it a bit up. So yeah, it's sometimes a bit frustrating for me. What should I do? You know what I mean?
Yeah. How long does it take you to finish a production on average?
Oh my God, man. Too long. Really too long. Honestly, I'm really jealous on these guys. They are every 2 weeks popping up a new track, signing it to Armada. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? Sorry for my words.
It's okay. It's okay. It's open. We're good. We're live streaming. It's all good. I don't bleep or edit anything at all. I love it that way. So you mentioned, obviously, I mean, if I were to ask, how many tracks do you produce in a month and how many end up being released on average?
Well, like I'm happy if I can release 4 tracks a year.
Okay.
And 2 remixes. And right now, for my new track, that it's still in demo. I will play it tomorrow in Luminosity for the first time. I worked for 8 weeks on it. And still, I'm not 100% with it. But that's why I said, I become that. It's very busy. Normally, I sit down for 4-5 days a week. And I can do a track in 2.5-3 weeks. And right now, I only have Monday and Wednesday.
Okay.
So, and on Monday evening, I got my radio show. In between, I have to listen all my demos. Then I have to run a music label called Grotesque Music. We got also an event, Grotesque event. We do also big indoor events, not like big as a State of Trance, but 5,000-6,000 people. Boat parties. Exclusive stuff, bus parties. So I got just a little bit of time to sit down and produce my music. But if I sit down, I have to be also creative as well. And if you're not creative, then it's horrible.
and speaking about those parties, I mean, I saw on your Instagram you were on a boat. I guess that must have been one of your boat parties. That looked fun, big, huge sailboat, packed with a bunch of people. Yeah. But you have a festival coming up. Tell us about Luminosity Beach Festival and what that means to you to be playing that again.
Well, it's an honor, to be honest. Really. I know the owner of Luminosity Beach Festival, and I think this is now 7 times, number 7 that I will play for them. Mm-hmm. Also back in the days, in 2007, 2008, I play on almost every Luminosity Beach Festival. Then I had 3 years of, I was searching what I'm going to do. Yeah, and right now I'm really happy they brought me back on stage. There are, I don't know how much people are coming over the 4 days, but I think from every country all over the world, people are coming to Luminosity Beach Festival. Yeah, I see already in the chat, I need to go to Lumi. It's worldwide. It's unbelievable. I think the whole big trance DJ, all the big trance DJs are there in the lineup. Ferry Costa, Marcus Schultz, you name it. Paul van Dyk this year. That kind of guys are coming over. And it is, I don't know. It's famous. Mm-hmm. It's really famous. Yeah.
And are you going on tour as well, or is this more all just local? Like, I guess for you, going to different countries isn't a hard thing to do because you're in Europe. We're in the States. We got like Canada and Mexico, and then we got to fly hours and hours to get to other countries. But when are you planning to travel? Are you planning to do any traveling and go on tour this year or next year as well?
Well, for next year, I'm working on which guy? Pranasiv. I'm just talking to talk with Pranasiv for something. Yeah, I'm working on India again. Ishandas, maybe I'm coming back. Ishandas is also in the chat. I'm seeing. Hello, Ishandas. I'm working on India again, and yeah, next week I go to Czech Republic. I have been there a lot. Czech Republic, it's amazing, eastern part of Europe, and I'm working on Poland, and I've been also a lot in Poland, and that's also yeah, it's amazing. Normally I travel in Europe.
And when you get to go to these countries, do you get time to explore the culture? I mean, you've been around there for a little bit of time now, but do you get time to explore stuff, or is it kind of an in and out?
Most of the time I go in and out because it's Europe.
Yeah.
It's Europe.
What's one of the most difficult things to deal with when you're on a tour, when you're out and traveling abroad?
Well, I don't feel anything difficult. It's if I'm traveling alone, I can finally do my stuff. I download all my promos, I'm listening, I'm working on my radio shows, I start to think about how to do your socials, checking stuff, and nowadays those airplanes got Wi-Fi on board, and you can do a lot. And also chilling, a lot of chilling. As I sit down and I've got my work done, just watching a movie or something and waiting. That's what I really like. For example, I was in 2018, I traveled for 17 times to Bangalore. And Bangalore is in the south part of India. It will take me 24 hours to come from Holland to my hotel. And I did it once a month. I got my own residence night there. It was amazing. And that time that I was sitting down, I flew from Amsterdam to Dubai. I worked my ass off. It was six hours flight, working, and I landed on Dubai. I entered the lounge, and I was chilling. And that's what I really like about traveling. For me, if it's difficult, no. I heard from my colleagues, and they're traveling much more. The time zones, too much stress, too much this. But lucky, maybe I can say I'm lucky. I don't have that. So,
yeah, it's interesting. I have not done any international travel yet. Kind of things got put on hold a few years ago because this little thing came up. But we're looking forward to going to Amsterdam to ADE this year for our first time, and doing some research on that. 400,000 people a day for 7 days in Amsterdam. I am super excited to be there, and looking forward to meeting with you. Once we get there, meet in person, get back to doing some interviews, talking with you, shaking hands, giving hugs, everything that the stuff of what we've missed. But here's a question: if you could see the your top three DJs in a show, if you could have a show with your top three DJs, you pick who you would want to play the show. Who would that be and why? Can't be yourself.
With who I like to play.
Yeah, who would you like to play with? Pick the three DJs you would like to throw a massive, huge show with.
I didn't think.
We're gonna get you in trouble here.
Yeah, you got me in trouble. Honestly, I really don't know. You can say Armin van Buuren, but everybody wants that, maybe with Boris Brejcha.
Boris Brejcha,
yeah. And
I just went to his show recently here in Seattle.
Yeah, to see what this guy is doing, it's unbelievable. With who more? Maybe with Paul van Dyk. What he's doing, that live stuff. what he's doing is very interesting. Yeah, and if I go to the trance, yeah, you know Reinier Zonneveld.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah. Those live guys. What they are doing. And if I go then to go to the trance scene, I like to see. I like to work with Giuseppe Ottaviani. Yeah. And as as a DJ, I really like the guys of GXD. You know them from the UK?
One more time.
GXD, De Leon.
GXV? No.
And the guy I recently met is D72.
D72.
Yeah. But that's in a lineup.
And is there an up and comer or a new DJ to the scene that you would like to collaborate with, or that you think should be put in the spotlight?
Yeah, D72 and
D72.
Yeah, those guys. They are personal. How do you say that in English? I don't know how to say that. Sorry for my English.
No, that's okay.
They are really they're really warm. They got a really warm personality.
Warm. Okay.
And they are more personal. You know what I'm saying? Normally there's a lot of business stuff, you know. But I've got also contact with them just about private stuff, you know. That's what I really like. And definitely I'm gonna meet those guys. Actually, I'm gonna meet De Leon on Sunday for the first time in person. We have only contact through Skype and WhatsApp. And D72, I will meet him in September, definitely. But
that's the one thing with social media also coming into play as part of the key development strategy with an artist. I mean, I'm 48 years old, so I grew up. Nobody had cell phones when we were kids. Nobody had the internet when we were kids. You had to find a flyer to go to the club, and then go to the music store to get the flyer, and then find a way to get the ticket to get to the club, the underground warehouse party, wherever it was at. And that was kind of a lot of fun. And nowadays, with social media being so prevalent, it's very key that artists maintain an image. I believe an image of approachability. Some artists are like, I don't like social media. I don't want to do anything on social media. They look at it as a necessary evil, as opposed to a tool that can help further their career along. And I think we were talking earlier about, live streaming and people that would never think about doing live streams or making videos, or even doing their own, taking their practice mixes and making it a podcast series. And then saying, wait a second, I practice once or twice a week. Why don't I just record this and put it online, and my fans can start listening to that? And where that's going. Big question here, and it's kind of a buzzword that a lot of people have been using for the last 6 months, though. NFTs.
NFTs?
Are you familiar with what an NFT is?
No.
Well, NFT, a non-fungible token. Please, people, do not murder me if I say this wrong. And my explanation of it on how to explain what an NFT. It's basically based on cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
And so let's say you have a song, you can make an NFT of that song. And whenever that song transfers hands, it sells, you as the artist still get a cut of that sale of the song.
I have heard about it.
Yeah, it came out. There was a big boom of NFTs a few months ago. The NFT market's kind of gone down because crypto prices have gone down. Markets are down a little bit right now. But I've heard of people starting up the first NFT record labels. Many artists are making NFT, like in the day, you might make bumper stickers. Now they're making NFT art pieces of artwork, and the fans can buy that artwork, and then they can either trade or sell that artwork and buy. It's become a very interesting world. It's all part of the Web 3.0 or Web 3 world or W3 world. And, I always ask all my guests, have they looked into NFTs or researched it in any way, shape, or form? Because it seems like it's going to be a way to give a little bit of financial control back to the artist.
Was that something what Garrett Emery did a few years ago?
Possibly. I mean, it was like I said, a huge buzzword, keyword. You don't hear too much of it anymore right now, because it came up, rose, and then the market kind of just dipped on it. But I think we're going to start seeing people get really creative with that. And like I said, I just always ask everyone if they're looking into it, if they're developing it, or doing anything in the NFT world. Doesn't sound like you are. Might want to look into it though. It's pretty cool stuff. But I've heard one company, what they've done is you buy the NFT and you hold that pass, and that pass gets you in to all the shows. It's like you bought an NFT ticket, and it's transferable. So let's say I bought my ticket for $1,000. I could go and sell that ticket for $10,000, make my money back on it, and the people who created that NFT for the event, they get a cut of that sale when that ticket passes around. So if their events get really big and these tickets start becoming, worth $50,000 a ticket, and people are buying them to have these experiences, it's just an interesting kind of neat way that people can market and kind of make money back for themselves. Like we were talking with the live streaming, if people started pay-per-viewing their live streams, or they can set up a Patreon or set up a subscription-based model for their podcast, and just, you have 1,000 fans, if you're getting $1 a week or $1 a month, at least it's $1,000 a month in your pocket that you weren't getting before, and you're getting that sort of support in there. So NFTs, buzzword, it's cool. Here's another question. We were talking a little bit about this too when we were discussing the Macioplex live stream set. Have you looked into doing anything in virtual reality at all? Have you been to a virtual reality nightclub?
No, never.
Never been into a virtual reality nightclub? Oh, Artento, we got to get you up to speed on these NFTs and VR nightclubs.
I know.
it's really awesome stuff. We actually just built 2 VR nightclubs ourselves in Altspace, so we're getting ready to launch those. And we're looking at, again, as another form. When I was looking at live streaming 13 years ago, and even podcasting 17 years ago, I was in broadcast television and then public access before that. That was how you had to put your stuff out there. And so I've always embraced new technologies. Yeah. And I just let everyone know, if you're not looking at VR as a new form of a website, like now and social media was a huge component to that as well. So, podcasting, social media, live streaming, all of what's happened over the last 10, 15 years, virtual reality coming in and being able to have a virtual reality presence where people can go online through their computer, or they can go online and put their goggles on. I own a pair of Oculus 2s. And now they're in this virtual reality space, and I can bring your Twitch feed, your live stream right in there. And I could be hanging out with Boss Bev and I hope I say this, Ishandias. I could be hanging out with them in a virtual nightclub, standing next to them, like walking around, listening to your music, kicking back, having fun. Of course, it doesn't replace a true nightclub.
Yeah.
But again, you're not trying to replace a true nightclub experience or festival experience in virtual reality. You're just providing a different way to consume or enjoy the music.
It's very interesting. So I can do a live set on my green screen.
I could bring you right into one of our nightclubs. We could set up a date and do a record release party for one of your tracks if you want to.
Oh, let's do it.
Let's do that. Okay, we'll set it up. I'd be honored to have you do that. We could talk about that offline. But VR is going to become something really cool. And then there's also kind of like AR, which is the augmented reality, which you'll see the glasses coming out, and you'll be able to like go to a show and wear the glasses. Always asking, thanks, Boss Bev. Make sure you get you a VIP pass. Just go download Altspace and look for the DJ sessions. You'll find our clubs in there. You can do it from a laptop. She's
telling us. Let's do it.
Here, watch this. Watch. I'm gonna do something really well. Let's go. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna go. Okay. We will. See, I can do some really cool stuff and bring in the chat room into the thing. So there we go.
Looks like a bit of Twitch, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. We're just using some new technology
with all the widgets.
Here. Yeah, exactly. I love this. We're using Restream now to do some of our stuff. But VR, AR, NFTs, everything you do with music. What is your ultimate goal as a DJ?
That I can be on myself again. You know what I'm saying? Just before Corona kicks in, I was 15 years my own. I was my own boss.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to be honest. When I became that, my view changed in everything. And we got also a daughter with a syndrome, a very rare syndrome. And I don't know if what I want to be. How do you say this? Everything has changed my view on the world. What is the dream? What is the dream of DJing? That I can be my own boss again. That I can play in nice clubs again. Just as before Corona, just before I was that. I don't want to be the #1 DJ Mac DJ or super duper hits, you know, or in the line of Army from Buren or what else. You know, if I can do my stuff and I can earn my money with, it's enough to live, then I'm already happy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the most important thing. That I can create music and I can spend enough time with my daughter.
And do you have a team of people that you work with, or do you do everything yourself?
Yeah,
or
I do everything myself.
Yourself?
Only my videos. Only my videos. I got that's why I said I got a guy. His name is Jeroen, and this guy is amazing with videos. He pushed me also for the green screen. Mm-hmm. This guy, I did for transmission. I did a green screen, a live set and the green screen recorded set, and he put a whole big stage around me. He's very good in 3D creating, so he put my on stage. It looks like very, very big.
Mm-hmm.
He's also a very warm personality. That's the only guy that they're working with. And he said, "Oh, I can make a teaser for you. I can do this for you. I can do that for you." But basically, I'm doing everything on my own in 2 days. That's the thing. I don't have that much time anymore. I need to start up a team again or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A social media guy who is helping me, or I don't know. It's really hard, but I don't know. How do you say? Just if you become that and you got a daughter with a rare syndrome, you don't have the pressure anymore. You know what I'm saying? You don't feel the pressure. I need this. I need that. I need this. I need that. You know, I need a team. I need my social. Blah 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 blah. Mm-hmm. If I can work, you know, if I can make my post, if I can do this, if I can do that, it's fine already. You know, and maybe if I haven't built a team around me who's doing my socials that I can more focus with, but it's also about the money, you know. Mm-hmm. That's also, and if it not goes as it was before, it's really hard to build stuff, and that's what I'm very, very happy with Jeroen. He's helping me a lot with the videos, and it's you see me, all right? You see me, right? It's a bit of hard working now.
It does. It depends. Like I've heard a lot of people that have said, if you're going after the money and the success, you're probably not really going to make it. If you're genuine and you work with people and you build good relationships with people, you'll make that and find that that's going to be what really satisfies you in the long run. And the pressure, that can destroy a lot of people, and it can destroy people through many different forms. The stress, the consumption, the getting involved with alcohol or drugs and the party scene, the late night hours, not maintaining a healthy life, not eating well, not exercising well. And, it sounds like you have a very good work-life balance that you're happy with. So that was a great, you don't have to go out there and strive to be at the top to make it.
Not anymore.
Happy. Not anymore.
Not anymore. My main goal is right now to stay healthy. Mm-hmm. So I can take care about my daughter, because she needs, for the whole life, they need somebody need to take care of her. Mm-hmm. And if I stay fit for a very long time, actually I have said that I'm gonna be 100 years old, so I need to be yeah. So I need to stay fit, you know. So I don't drink. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
everything changed, man. Everything
yeah,
changed.
absolutely,
Everything.
and that's kind of where I had to. I understand where you're going through with that mission. When I have people that are counting on me with my company, I have to make sure I'm doing what I say what I promise that I'm gonna do. I have to make sure that I'm doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, they aren't gonna want to work with me, and they'll go find something else. So, health is important. If there was one piece of advice, though, that you could give to an up and coming producer to make it, other than being healthy, staying healthy, what would that piece of advice be?
Stay close by yourself and watch out for the douchebags. Yeah, that's the thing. There are a lot of cowboys in the industry.
Cowboys in the industry?
Yeah. In the music industry, a lot of cowboys. Yeah, sorry, I'm honest, man.
No, I see what I know what you mean. I've had to deal with some of them myself in the past. Some people thinking I'm the executive producer of the show and I'm one of the cowboys. And it's like, no, I'm not. I'm not. Just trying to have a fun show and have some fun. Let's do some fun stuff.
That's fun. But you know what I'm saying? There are a lot of cowboys in the industry. It's not.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're the positive man, huh?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to let our DJ Sessions fans know before we let you get going back in the studio?
Yeah, keep an eye on my new music. Maybe I'm not the fastest producer, but everything that goes out of my studio, I'm 100% convinced with. That's it.
And where are they going to be able to go to find out about that new music? What links can they use?
Yeah, check my Instagrams, my socials, and people start laughing. I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, just Instagram, Artento Divini, Twitch, Artento Divini. I will play a lot of new music, and yeah, my Facebook.
Okay,
that's where they can find.
Awesome. Well, Artento, thank you so much for coming on the DJ Sessions, virtual sessions, and also hosting our channel. It was great to see some of your viewers come in today. Boss Bev, Hishandius. I hope I said it. Hishandius.
We talked about your room.
We got Jerome. We got Jerome
That's the video. That's the video guy.
Oh,
that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. He jumped in. Okay, awesome. Really cool to have some audience participation in today's show. We did a little bit of marketing on the show today because this is one of our secondary channels we use for interviews and everything. So we got some good numbers today on today's channel. And I want to say thank you again, Artento. And we'll have to talk about getting you in the VR nightclubs on the DJ session soon, because this is the virtual sessions, but those are the VR sessions. Two totally different things. It's gonna be some crazy stuff. I'll talk with you about it after the show. Thank you again for coming on today.
It's good, man.
And on that note, don't forget to go to our website, thedjsessions.com. Find us on TikTok, find us on Instagram, find us on Twitter, that meta thing. Just go to our website, thedjsessions.com. All of our socials are there. Our VR nightclub links are there. Our news, everything we got. We got some other awesome news that's going to be released here coming out soon. Always something happening at thedjsessions.com. This is Darren for the virtual sessions, coming to you from Seattle, Washington, with Artento Divini from Holland, from Lelystad, Holland. And thank you very much for being with us today on the virtual sessions, because you know what happens on the DJ sessions? The music never stops.
Indeed.